I think the overall announcement made by the finance minister today, the overall package is a good one. It addresses one of the four pillars on which the new approach is going to be based, as announced by the Prime Minister yesterday: land, law, labor, and liquidity. This set of announcements related to liquidity. In a way, these are like low-hanging fruits that the government delivered on today. I think announcement relating to SMEs and NBFCs were substantial and definitely needed and good ones. I have some concerns relating to announcement made regarding the DISCOMs, the power sector 90,000 crore package. Let me start with positives first. I think the SME related reforms were really good ones. Let me start with the 50,000 crore equity infusion scheme. I wrote a op-ed piece recently arguing that just giving debt or guarantees to SMEs alone is not going to help, because too much debt distorts investment incentives of SMEs. This is well known. Investments become either speculative or firms get into a debt trap where almost all their earnings will go in repayment of loans. So this discourages investment. So what is needed is equity, and it's heartening to see that government has realized that SMEs need equity, and they've started with a fund of funds of 50,000 crore. In fact, I would urge the FM to go even further and announce a government guarantee and invite investments by investors and public, including foreign investors. Then the fund size can go to 2-3 lakh crore and make a real big difference. But I'm happy with the beginning. The second announcement related to 20,000 crore subordinate debt also fits in to this category, because this is like a quasi-equity, it's like preference capital which is not senior, and that's going to help SMEs a lot. The 3 lakh crore capital guarantee scheme is also a good one, definitely needed. Although I'm a bit worried about moral hazard here, because now you know that the banks know that their lending is guaranteed, they may not monitor as well. But I can't quibble much, because given the circumstances, this is needed. And the 1 year moratorium on repayment is also definitely needed. And finally, and most importantly for SMEs, the change in definition is definitely required. There is systematic evidence. The number of papers have shown that SMEs in India tend to cluster around thresholds. Now, the reason they cluster is they think that if they cross those thresholds, they will lose all benefits relating to SMEs and they will be in a competitive disadvantage. So therefore, they tend to cluster around threshold. This sudden increase in definition, a significant increase, from 10 lakhs to a crore, and doing away with this equipment definition for service sector, what it will do is it will release energies of a lot of firms which were clustering around previous thresholds. They are now free to invest, they are now free to grow, and hopefully they will employ more people in this process. So that's really a good move, and that will help create employment. Now, coming to NBFCs, all of us know that even pre-COVID NBFCs were in trouble. So that's why government announced a partial guarantee scheme earlier as well. So this 30,000 crore new like a quantitative easing scheme where I think where NBFC securities will be bought directly is a really good scheme, which will ease a lot of liquidity pressures of NBFCs, and also it will help investors into NBFCs. The second partial guarantee scheme, where 45,000 partial guarantee scheme, where government will guarantee first loss up to 20% for even those with investment grade. NBFCs need not be AAA rated. Even the investment grade NBFCs will benefit from the scheme is also definitely needed. I would have loved to see some conditions being put related to new investments, because what happens is if these NBFCs just evergreen loans, use all these guarantees just to lend to their bad borrowers, that's not going to help economy much. So there should be a condition that some X percentage of the new loan that will get because of these schemes should be lent to new borrowers. Also, I think new NBFCs that may come, which are well capitalized, should be allowed to participate in these schemes. Right now, if I understand correctly, the government requires some kind of a two-year track record for even the capital guarantee scheme and also for rating. If NBFC is well capitalized, why not allow a new NBFC also participate in these schemes? Now, I think overall NBFC and SME packages were good. Moves relating to EPF, taxation and all were needed, but they were incremental in nature. And finally, one aspect which I did not like is the power sector issue. Now, I understand that discoms are in trouble and they are not paying power generating companies, and that's impacting generation of power. All that is well taken. But what the government has done today is that it has shifted the burden from banks to PFC and REC. PFC and RECs, they are going to fund 90,000 crore to discoms on state government guarantee. Now, state governments are in such a mess that their guarantee will not mean much. So basically, PFC and REC will be saddled with this 90,000 crore loan on top of 4-5 lakh crore they are already sitting on. Now, this is going to create a GFC kind of a situation which happened in US pre-2008. I think this alone is a bad move. But if this was combined with some kind of reforms in the way these discoms operate, for example, if there was some restriction on free power, announcing free power, or the restriction or rule that state government has to fund these free power schemes from their budget and not put it on discoms. So these kind of rules would have helped reduce losses. Now all that it will do is they will operate under old rules, and PFC will end up picking up the bill. So all in all, I think it's the package was balanced, good. I really liked SME and NBFC related announcement. That's going to solve a lot of liquidity issues. I think power sector most need some kind of adjustment. Even on the SME and NBFC front, especially on the NBFC front, government should make sure that credit flows to new firms, not just evergreen, not just for zombie firms in the form of evergreen. So I look forward to announcements on law, land and labor. I think they are going to be more substantial. And I hope there will be substantial reforms on those fronts.